All right, what is up, guys? Oh, right, this is what we're going to be looking at today. I was trying to think of what I was going to make today. I kind of wanted to make a funky Reuben. I was just thinking of getting ready for St. Patty's Day. So I'm going to make Russian dressing, sweet diamond style. So I'm going to make it with, I'm going to make Thousand Island dressing. I'm going to make our sweet diamond slaw, or not slaw, sorry, sweet diamond um, sauerkraut. I'm going to make that. And then instead of Reuben, I'm going to take my green chili brat, take it out of the casing, and make a patty out of that. And then make that into a sandwich. A little bit different, but I'm telling you, it's going to be great. So let's start off with making this kraut. This is the kraut that I make all the time. Really simple. I just open up a large can of kraut. You can use any type of kraut you want. I'm going to get that on low heat. And this is my dad's recipe. We've done this forever. My dad always added crushed red pepper, which I normally do, but since I serve this generally for the public or a lot of family, they don't like a lot of heat in it, so I hold off on it. The crushed red pepper is great in this because it's kind of a sweet sour. But so that's my one added if you want to do it. I do a half of an onion. I use yellow onion. And then I've got a tablespoon of French shake, and I got a tablespoon of, you can use oregano. I used Italian seasoning, and I'm going to put that in. I'm going to kind of break that up, just kind of break up the oils on that. And then I'll put in the French shake. I'm going to add in a half cup of brown sugar. That's it. And I'm going to let that kind of go low and slow. Those onions are going to kind of break down. They'll caramelize in there. I'm going to cook that till it turns kind of brown. I'll show that after it goes for a little while. But you want to let that cook, get sweet. Okay, next we're going to work on this Thousand Island dressing. Now, I made kind of a smaller batch because I don't use a lot of Thousand Island dressing. I'm just mainly going to use it for this. But so I've got a half cup of mayo. I've got 2 tablespoons of sweet diamond chipotle ketchup. 2 tablespoons of that in there. I got 2 tablespoons of sweet pickle relish. And again, this is got a little smoke to it, not super spicy. And then I'm going to have apple cider vinegar. I've got a tablespoon of diced yellow onion, and I've got a teaspoon of sugar, and then I've got a teaspoon of French shake. And again, French shake, salt, pepper, cracked black pepper. It's got garlic, onion, paprika. That's it. I'm just going to blend that together. I'll hold that in the fridge till we use it. But let me just put that together so you can see what that looks like. You know, you can also add diced jalapeno in here if you want to. But that's it. Looks good, right? All right, I'm gonna let this stay in the fridge, get nice and cold while we pull this sandwich together. All right, let's take a quick look and see how this looks. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Those onions probably got a little bit longer to go. This has been going for 10 minutes. So not too bad, really. You can kind of see, but look at the color on that, though. The brown kind of came, but those onions I'd like to get a little bit darker. You let these go. It'll continue to cook down. All right, let's do a quick little assembly job on this sandwich. What I'm going to do first is we're going to kind of butcher this brat of mine. This is my green chili brat. All I'm going to do is take the casing off of it and basically just get down to the meat of it and just kind of uncase it and turn it into a patty. That's it. We're just going to make kind of a patty that's going to fit inside this sandwich. And the other thing one thing I'm doing on this, because our house here is anti-glutide, we have no gluten in this house. So the bread that I have is a gluten-free. The bread's a little smaller. Generally you're going to do rye, and that is traditional, but honestly, there's really nothing traditional for a Reuben in this sandwich. But I'm going to pat this down for this patty, kind of get it flat so it cooks kind of quick. But again, this is my green chili brat, so there's a really high fat content in this, and there's some green chili in it, so there's gonna be a nice little bite to it. Quick side note on this: the reason why, when you buy my brats at sweetdiamondfoods.com, when you buy the brats, they're called German brand links because the FDA wouldn't allow me to call them brats because I've got so much moisture and fat in these that the USDA, because I've got 6% fat, and regular brats that you get in the store only have 3%. Interesting, right? Okay, so I've got my carbon steel pan going. I'm going to get this cooked up. I'm going to get this cooked first, and then I want to make sure that's cooked through. And then while that's happening, I'm going to get this bread toasting, get the cheese melted. The meat or the cheese that I chose, I went with a pepper jack. Didn't have any Swiss. This is what I went with. I think it's still going to be cool. But yeah, I'm going to keep assembling this sandwich. And yeah, I think this is going to be great. This kraut looks pretty good. I'm going to bring that over to you. The one thing I like to do to finish this kraut off is something that I've done. You know what I'm going to do, since I used my pork on that? I cut raw meat with that, so I'm going to use a different knife. I'm going to put a tablespoon of butter in here and just cut that heat off. It's something I've done for a long time. It just really adds to that. Call me crazy. Okay, so that's going to finish up. I'm going to get a couple of pats to put underneath the bread. And then I'm going to start assembling the sandwich. All right, let's build the sandwich. All right, we're going to get some butter on this bread. All right, we're going to get that just like that. You can see how we got them in the bottom. I'm going to put a layer of this Thousand Island on this bread. I want to make sure that's totally covering that. And I'm going to get cheese down. And look at the kraut. See how that totally caramelized? Looks so good, right? I'm going to put a little bit right on top of this. So we can just get a little bit right there. I'm going to put our patty. I'm going to show you how this patty came out. Look at that. I'm going to put that like that. Put a little more kraut right on top here. And then I'm going to start toasting this. And then I'm going to put these together. I'm going to get those toasted, put them together, let those melt up, and then we'll take a look at it when that's done. All right, so we got our finished product. This is the Brat Reuben with the Sweet Diamond Russian dressing, Sweet Diamond kraut, and Sweet Diamond brats, green chili brats. Let's just take a look at this. Look at that. Look at that beauty. Doesn't it look wonderful? I gotta at least try a little piece. The beauty on that right away is you get hit with that sweet from Thousand Island and the kraut. And you get that nice little bite from the green chili. Wow, that's good. God, you got to make that. All right, you can get everything at Sweet Diamond Foods. Got to try it.